They go to Nash. Nash in backcourt, and he's knocked hard by Horry and fouled. And now Horry's going to get attacked here. Nash is all over him. A dirty foul by Robert Horry. Absolutely unbelievable.
When it happened, guys were kind of milling around. You think, oh gosh, no. And then the suspensions come down, and it's like it was just all caved in.
One of the biggest heartbreaks to me in my years with the Suns was that unbelievable flagrant foul in San Antonio when Robert Horry just completely low-bridged Steve Nash in the most flagrant foul I've ever seen. Trying to injure Nash, he threw a block into him, knocked him right into the table in front of our broadcast location. Well, that's Robert Horry.
We're watching the game was very close. Nash is dribbling up the court. He's taken so many hits already. I mean, the guy had a broken nose, bleeding all over the place 2 games before that. And so when I saw Robert Horry just knock Steve into the scoreboard, I'm walking up to see if Steve okay. And as I'm walking, I'm not realizing, but I'm not on the bench anymore. I'm actually walking closer to Steve. I'm actually getting closer to him, which is a natural reaction for someone to check on your team. I was walking toward him.
As the hip check of Robert Horry happened to Steve, it wasn't truly a surprise because we were 2 teams that didn't like one another. Robert Horry is a champion, but also a chippy player, which is why he was in the game at that point in time, ready to commit a foul like that.
2 of our players did get off the bench, but didn't go out on the floor. They were looking down to see what had happened to Steve Nash.
I didn't know if that was a rule or something that is an old rule or what, but I haven't heard of it before that point. I was pretty sure that we weren't going to be suspended because we didn't do anything outside of just stepping on the basketball court.
There was no real thought. It was just like, no, you're a little bit away from the bench, you get suspended. That's the rules, and so you're going to determine the whole season and people's futures and Phoenix Suns' futures and all that. With that, not to me, not well thought out.
Sure and behold, David Stern issued out the suspension for me, Boris, which was hard for me.
Tough moment, and I'm still, obviously the NBA's given me an unbelievable life. Not a good decision. Boris Diaw did not go on the floor, and he did not cause anything to happen. Now, Mari was a little bit more aggressive, but didn't cause anything to escalate.
We do have the most powerful microscopes and telescopes in the world in Arizona. You could use those instruments and not find a shred of fairness or common sense in that decision. So that's kind of how I feel.
And here is Nash being chased, and they had him all look out. As Horry sent Nash flying, and Bell goes at Horry. Nash got up, he wants to go at Horry. The Suns did not appreciate the foul by Robert Horry.
When there's a disagreement, I always try to look myself in the mirror and say, what could I have done better? And that's one of the hardest things for everyone to do. So I was actually sitting on the bench next to Amari. So when it actually happened, spur of the moment, players jump up off the bench. I should have felt like, Amari! And grabbed onto him like Jeff Van Gundy did to Alonzo Mourning's leg. Like, I really wish I would have done that.
Come on, Jalen, man. Grab me by the shorts, man.
And so once it happened, and Nash hit the scorer's table and he hit the ground, in the spur of the moment, you didn't realize that. Did Amari, did Boris actually go on the floor? Is this going to cost us an opportunity to win the series? And ultimately it did.
You don't dwell on it too much, but it was a downer. And then the biggest downer came, we had them back home. We had them in the 5th game, even without those guys being suspended. We had them on the ropes and we let them off right at the end.
They go to Ginobili, his shot good with time running out on the shot clock. He hits a 3-pointer. Oh, brother.
I actually watched the game over at Stoudemire downtown, back when the restaurant was here. And my family and I, we just sat there and watched the game. We was a little bit upset by it because we didn't think that was a cost of a suspension.
And San Antonio has won it, 88-85, and I guess you should mail this one to Commissioner David Stern and give him the congratulations on the win. For the NBA to have the audacity to suspend 2 of our starting players that really took the NBA championship run away from the Suns, that was the true Heartbreak Hotel.
It's a big blow. You know, I'm a firm believer if all things are right, we take it all. But that's the way it happens in basketball. One possession, one play. The bounce of the ball goes the other way. And so that was, you know, that was heartache. That was a heartbreak because, you know, from that point forward, things were never the same.
If Boyce and I did play, we would have, we definitely, I think we could have won the game for sure. But you never know how the series would have ended up.
It's very disappointing. You know, at the same time, I think I have a good perspective on it. We were about as close to a championship over the course of our run as anyone, you know, who's not been to the finals, and probably some who have been to the finals. So we were a little unlucky, but you know, we didn't get there, and so you got to take that. That's what sports is about: is taking the pain and letting that rub in your wounds, and that's why winning it is so special.